It's easy to understand that the problem in my code is again about choosing a good platform X. I'm really careful about this piece of code, but actually the other part of the code that I think is the same is not actually the same. And well, one solution is again to copy this and paste it here. Of course, this is not what I wanted from you. I want you to understand what is going on, and what is really going on is that here I use the platform size, and I can print it if you want. For example, here on this line, I can print console log, and yeah, I can print platform size with about the current platform. I can print the selected platform X about the current platform, and you will notice, I guess, that actually platform size is changed on the next line. So from all of those numbers that you can see, sometimes we have printed on line 24 the right part of the playing field. I don't actually look for numbers as big as 750, but for numbers as big as 863 selected on line 24, printed on line 24. So apparently we've created a platform that has a right part reaching 863. Let's see what is printed on line 22. On line 22 I am seeing actually that the size of the platform is pretty small. It's only 65 and all those digits here, and I can see that this size perfectly fits with 725 because its sum is less than 800. But why do I get on line 24 even bigger sum for those two numbers? Well, it's because here I'm not printing the sum of the platform X plus the old platform size printed on line 22. Actually, here I'm printing the newly selected on line 23 new platform size. So again, the solution is the same solution that fixed the missing initial platforms, and it's first to choose the size of the platform, and when I have the size of the current new platform, I need to use it for selecting the starting X, the left X for this new platform, so that even its right X is still in the playing field. I hope that you understand all of this, and I guess that it was even really boring for you from a few videos ago, because in case you fixed this bug yourself, the important thing that you should take from all of these videos is not only that I am stupid and I can fix the same bug on 2 places in 3 videos, but the important thing is that you might have a really hidden bug, and patient debugging, patient tracing, and understanding what the computer is doing with arrays is sometimes really needed. So don't be scared to make mistakes, but try to fix them yourself. I guess you're going to make a lot of mistakes now that you need to create two new arrays, and I want you to call them enemy X and enemy Y. I want those two arrays to keep the X and Y coordinates of at least two new enemies. For example, their count can increase by time, so you can even have a variable enemy count. Perhaps this variable needs to always be this variable needs to also be an array. No, actually no, this should be the count of the elements in those two arrays, and this is only a number, it's not an array. For example, it can be 3 in the beginning, 3 evil platforms, 3 enemy platforms. Let's call them enemy platform X and enemy platform Y, and enemy platform count. So the best thing we can do when we have those arrays and a variable is to perhaps copy and paste all this code for them so that they have initial X and Y. Then copy and paste all of this code so that they also move, and there is also a collision for checking whether they hit the player. This is a place that we will have a tiny change, because we don't want the player to be on top of the enemy platforms, but instead to go to hell, for example. So perhaps instead of this you can just move the player really on a horrible different place, or just console lock him, you lose life or game over or something. So this is one of the few places we need to make something different. And another place is here when we... And the final place that we will make no changes, т.е. думи изтри, сегашния ми български, както и преди 20 секунди, където запецнах, защото бях се засилил да казвам, че другаде ще правим промени, а всъщност искам да кажа. And another place in which we are not going to make any changes is this place in which we are teleporting a platform that has reached the top of the playing field back down. So the only place that we need to change anything is the collision handling. This if we will need to handle collisions in a different way. For example, printing game over. Of course, we also need to draw the enemy platforms, but let's don't do it in the same way as normal platforms. For example, we might want to draw them in a different color. This is a task from your homework, and you know that this is not the best way to code this feature, the feature of enemy platforms. So if you are ready with this task in this way, you can start working on the other way. Or if you are ready with all the different scenarios, all the different variables to have enemies, you can just skip to the next video. For now, I guess that most of you need to start coding enemies now, so this is your task now.